Throughout the Zelda series, there has always been one constant in times of darkness: a blade, blessed by the goddess, a hero, chosen by fate, a princess, born of a sacred bloodline, and the courage to stand against the darkness, no matter how powerful it may be. Time and time again, this cycle has repeated. As evil rises, the hero answers, and Hyrule endures. But what happens when the hero does not appear? When the kingdom is left defenseless, and a great evil is free to rain destruction upon the realm? This is the tale of Hyrule's fall, an age when hope withered, when the desperate prayers of a doomed kingdom summoned a great flood to cleanse the world, and when a boy, dressed in the garb of legends, rose to face the king of evil for one final time. This is the story of Hyrule's darkest age, the age without a hero. Before the world was swallowed by the sea, there was an age when a lone hero rose to confront the darkness looming over the kingdom of Hyrule. This boy, chosen by fate, journeyed across the land with the sacred Ocarina of Time, unlocking the gate inside the Temple of Time and drawing forth the legendary Master Sword. But in doing so, he was sealed away, cast 7 years into a future where the Gerudo King Ganondorf had seized control of this once prosperous kingdom. With the help of the land's sages, the power of the Master Sword, and Princess Zelda herself, the hero of time faced Ganondorf in a final, fate-altering battle where the forces of light and darkness clashed for the soul of Hyrule. And after a fierce struggle, the hero prevailed, defeating Ganon and sealing him in the sacred realm, with the Master Sword serving as a key to his prison. Peace was restored to Hyrule once more, but at a cost, for the hero of time did not belong to this era, and so, with the power of the Ocarina of Time, Zelda sent him back to his own time, to reclaim the childhood that he had lost. But by leaving this timeline, the hero of time vanished from its future, shattering the Triforce of Courage into fragments, which were scattered across the land, leaving behind a dark, empty future, an age where no champion bearing the spirit of the hero would appear in the kingdom's hour of need. Centuries passed after the hero of time faded into legend. The people of Hyrule lived in peace, clinging to a sacred belief that should darkness ever rise again, then the hero of time would return to save the kingdom once more. But that hope soon proved false. Deep within the sacred realm, the Gerudo King's hatred endured. The seal that bound him slowly began to weaken, until at last, Ganondorf broke free. His fury was unmatched. His legions swept across the land, laying waste to all who opposed him, plunging Hyrule once more into an age of fire and shadow. Desperate to survive, the people of the land turned to the heavens, praying for the hero who once saved their kingdom to rise again. But no one came. The hero of time was gone, and no soul bearing the spirit of the hero walked the land. With no champion to oppose him, Ganondorf's conquest was absolute. Towns fell, hope withered, and nothing could halt his relentless march of destruction. As Ganondorf's assault ravaged the kingdom, the King of Hyrule, Daphnis No Hansen Hyrule, rallied his remaining forces in a final effort to halt the Gerudo King's advance. But to no avail, for Ganondorf's power was far beyond anything the king's forces could withstand. With his armies faltering and no hero to defend the realm, the king turned to the Golden Goddesses, praying for deliverance now that the hero of time could no longer protect them. And after a time, the Golden Goddesses answered. They commanded those who wished to live to flee to Hyrule's mountaintops, to escape the cleansing waters that would soon wash across the land. But the king, steadfast and unyielding, chose to remain with his doomed kingdom, making a final stand against the Gerudo King. However, just before the flood, The king entrusted the Princess of Hyrule with half of the Triforce of Wisdom, charging her to lead the people to safety upon the mountain tops above. Once all was safe, the golden goddesses unleashed a torrential downpour, drowning the land beneath an endless ocean, transforming mountaintops into islands, while far below the waves, Ganondorf, his armies, the king, and Hyrule itself were buried beneath. Yet the golden goddesses did not allow Hyrule to perish completely. To preserve what remained, they cast a powerful seal upon Hyrule Castle and the Master Sword, freezing the land in time, a still, silent memory entombed beneath the sea. While above the waters, the people of Hyrule began anew. They built their lives upon the scattered islands of the Great Sea, and as ages passed, the memory of the old kingdom faded into legend. Centuries after the Great Flood, whispers of the Hero of Time's deeds still drifted across the Isles. Tales of a boy who rose from humble beginnings, who took up the Master Sword and struck down the King of Evil. Yet these legends spoke not only of his triumph, but of his absence, in the time when Hyrule needed him the most. Across the scattered islands of the Great Sea, these legends shaped tradition, where on a small island called Outset, a custom was born that when a child came of age, they would don a green tunic in honor of the legendary hero who once saved the kingdom. These youths, garbed in green, dreamed of finding the sword that seals the darkness, to cast down the evil that might one day return. But these were only dreams, for the courage of the Hero of Time was long gone, leaving the elders to fear that no true champion would ever rise again. Yet the seal placed upon Ganondorf could not last forever. From the depths of the sunken Hyrule, the King of Evil stirred once more, shattering the ancient seal that bound him. His wrath unleashed, Ganondorf commanded his servants to strike at the temples of wind and earth, sacred sanctuaries where two sages prayed to sustain the Master Sword's divine power. Here, both Fado, the Sage of Wind, and Laruto, the Sage of Earth, were slain, their prayers silenced, and with them, the blade's power to repel evil. With the Master Sword powerless, Ganondorf rose from the deep and seized a stronghold upon the edge of the sea, a dark citadel known as the Forsaken Fortress. And from there, he began his hunt for Princess Zelda to find and claim her Triforce of Wisdom for himself. Meanwhile, far away on Outset Island, a boy came of age. His name was Link, and in accordance with ancient custom, he donned the tunic of the hero, oblivious to the fact that he was fated to walk the same path of courage and sacrifice. His journey began when a pirate named Tetra was seized by the monstrous Helmarok King and cast into the Forest of Fairies, which soon after resulted in the kidnapping of Link's younger sister, who was taken by the same beast to the dreaded Forsaken Fortress. Determined to rescue her, Link set sail across the Great Sea, while being guided by a mysterious talking boat called the King of Red Lions, unaware that this rescue mission would become something far greater, a quest to awaken the spirit of the hero and to bear the fate of the world upon his shoulders. Through countless trials of hardship and courage, Link journeyed to the Tower of the Gods, where he proved his worth before the eyes of the Golden Goddesses, and from there, he descended into the land beneath the waves, the sunken remains of Hyrule, frozen in time. And from here, within a small chamber in Hyrule Castle, Link found and drew the legendary Master Sword from its pedestal, breaking the seal and unfreezing time. With the sacred weapon in hand, he now believed that he held the power to defeat Ganondorf once and for all. So Link set sail, setting his course for the Forsaken Fortress, infiltrating its walls, where he would free his sister from her prison and strike down the monstrous Helmarok King. However, his triumph would be short-lived, for atop the citadel, a grim truth awaited. Link burst into Ganondorf's chamber, prepared for a brutal showdown, but the King of Evil only laughed, for by slaying the two sages, he had stripped the blade of its divine power, and worse still, by drawing the sword from its pedestal, Link had broken the seal that bound Ganondorf's magic. Then, Ganondorf struck without mercy, casting the boy aside like a toy, and just as he prepared to finish him off, Tetra leapt through the window in a desperate attempt to save Link. But before she could pose a real threat, Ganondorf seized her, and suddenly, his Triforce of power began to resonate. At last he realized that Tetra carried the Triforce of wisdom. But before Ganondorf could act, salvation came from the skies. Rito warriors descended upon the fortress, carrying Link and Tetra to safety, as the great dragon Velu engulfed the tower in fire. Their escape brought them to the Tower of the Gods, where the King of Red Lions led them once more to the sunken kingdom. There, in the Master Sword's chamber, the truth was unveiled. He reveals that he was no mere boat, but King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule, the last monarch of the ancient kingdom. He speaks of Ganondorf's return, the flood that drowned the kingdom, and the divine judgment of the golden goddesses, before he reveals a hidden relic, the missing half of the Triforce of Wisdom. When he holds it in front of him, it joins with the piece within Tetra, transforming her, revealing her true self to be the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda, the final heir to the royal bloodline. But there was no time to linger, as the king, fearing for her safety, ordered Zelda to remain hidden within the castle, while Link set forth to restore the Master Sword's lost power. To do so, he sought out and awakened the two new sages, first being Medley, the Rito, destined to guard the Earth Temple, and second being Makar the Korok, destined to guard the Wind Temple. Through their sacred prayers, the blade regained its divine strength, granting Link the power to strike down evil once more. Yet even this was not enough, for the Triforce of Courage, shattered long ago, still lay scattered across the Great Sea, and so, Link braved the endless ocean, retrieving the 8 fragments of this ancient relic, and at last, embraced his destiny, not as the hero of time, but as the hero of winds. With the Master Sword restored and the Triforce of Courage reclaimed, Link returned to Hyrule Castle, but hope quickly turned to despair as Zelda was gone, taken by Ganondorf to his tower. With no time to lose, Link fought his way through the darkened halls of Ganon's fortress, cutting down his foes as he ascended to its summit. There, atop the highest spire, Ganondorf awaited, standing triumphant with Zelda lying unconscious at his feet. It was here, in the Forgotten Kingdom, that the fate of all would be decided in one final battle. As Link steadied himself, the King of Evil charged, striking blow after blow, casting him aside and knocking the Master Sword from his grasp. Then, Ganondorf seized him by the arm, lifting him high with a cold, menacing smile, as he would not kill the boy, for Ganondorf needed the power that lay dormant within him. From Link's hand shone the Triforce of Courage, while Zelda's Triforce of Wisdom pulsed faintly as she lay silent on the ground. Ganondorf raised his hand to the heavens, revealing the third and final fragment, the Triforce of Power, and in a blinding light, the 3 fragments united. The Triforce, whole once more, hovered before him, a divine relic of limitless potential. At last, it was his to command. With it, Ganondorf spoke his wish, to resurrect the ancient kingdom buried beneath the sea, and to rule it once again as its undisputed king. He lifted his gaze skyward, awaiting the gods to answer. But before his wish could be granted, another voice echoed through the chamber. From the shadows emerged King Daphnis no Hansen Hyrule, his hand resting upon the Triforce. He made a wish of his own, not for the kingdom to rise again, but for a future free from the burden of the past. A world untainted by tragedy, where the mistakes of yesterday would never be repeated. The Triforce shimmered in answer, and in that instant, the fate of Hyrule was sealed. Its remnants would vanish with the tides, and in their place, the hope of a new world would bloom. Ganondorf froze, then smiled. A twisted grin stretched across his face as madness overtook him. As if the Triforce would not grant him his wish, then he would take matters into his own hands. Steel clashed with steel as the Hero of Winds met the King of Evil in a final, furious duel atop the crumbling tower, blows crashing like thunder, swallowed by the roaring sea above, while Zelda called upon the light of the gods, striking Ganondorf with sacred arrows, shattering his defense. Together, the hero and princess fought as one, light and steel united against darkness. But Ganondorf did not yield. His strikes were heavy, his laughter rose like a storm, and yet the boy in green stood firm, for within his soul burned the courage of ages, the spirit of the legendary hero reborn. With a final cry, Link leapt into the air, the Master Sword gleaming with light as he brought it down upon his foe, piercing the blade through Ganondorf's skull, the shock freezing his final breath as his body turned to stone. His laughter faded into silence. At long last, the King of Evil was no more. As the waters began to close around them, the King of Hyrule appeared once again, calm and resolute. He told Link and Zelda that he wants them to live, to walk a path of hope, to trust it will sustain them when the darkness comes again, as the ocean will become a cradle for a new world, a land unshackled from the mistakes of old, a place where the tragedies of Hyrule would never be repeated. And with a gentle smile, King Daphnis No Hansen Hyrule bid farewell to his kingdom, and to the children who would carry its legacy. As the tides consumed the last remnants of this ancient land, Zelda and Link shot to the surface, leaving the king to vanish beneath the waves. Above the sea, sunlight broke through the clouds as the Hero of Winds and Princess Zelda, Tetra once more, set sail for the boundless horizon. There they would search for a new land, a place of promise, to build a new kingdom atop the vast blue ocean. For though the age of Hyrule had ended, the legend of the hero would never die. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then leave a like or subscribe to the channel for more Zelda content like this in the future. What are your thoughts on the Great Flood? Was it the only way to halt Ganondorf's conquest? Or could the Golden Goddesses have chosen another way to save the land? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's all from me for today, so I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.